You put dormant oil spray on in the towards the end of winter, you know, before basically early spring and late winter, or you can actually do it anytime during the winter, because what it does, it just smothers the tree and covers the pest, you know, the insect eggs or the spores or whatever, because you got insects and you got bacteria and you got viruses, you got all kinds of different things. It basically smothers them, it just covers it, and then so the tree grows through that.
You just have to do it once?
Yeah, you just do it once a year.
Okay.
Every year, and you can put a little sulfur in there, but it's basically mineral oil, and there's some other stuff. But you can buy organic stuff. That's not a problem.
Okay.
The other spray that I use is it's called spinosad, and your biggest problem with apples and pears and stuff is the codling moths, and that's why that's another reason you get rid of all your windfalls, because that's where codling moth eggs hang out. And then so you get and they turn into larvae. The flies come up and they go onto your trees. They look for apples and they lay their eggs in the apples, and that's where you get the worms, and that's where you get worms in apples. So you start 10 days after the blossoms drop, and you start spraying with you can use malathion and diazinon and all these other, but they're chemicals. So I use spinosad, which is an OMRI approved spray. And it's the same thing. You spray it just like malathion. You got your little hose end sprayer. You drag your hose out there and you spray it all over the tree, and then you do that every 10 days. And I don't like to go more than 3 or 4 cycles. So sometimes my late apples especially, they got a little bit of worm damage, but it's mostly cosmetic. It doesn't ruin the fruit. And
had a little bit of that this year on this tree.
Yeah, you should definitely put that on. It's real cheap. You can buy it at Cenex for $11.
Okay.
Or you can order it. I'm going to order a whole gallon of it from Johnny's this year. It's $70. It's based on this bacteria or spore or something from the Caribbean, which attacks the nervous system of insects.
Okay.
But
it's real specific.
It's real well. It does codling moth, potato beetles. People use it on the potatoes for potato beetles, Colorado potato beetle, and things like that.
Okay.
So it hits a wide variety of pests, and it hits their nervous system. But it's approved by the Organic Materials Review Institute. That's why it's OMRI approved.
Okay.
So that's why you can use it if you're organic.
Okay.
So, but that's basically it. You got your dormant oil spray in the winter or late spring, or late winter or early spring, and then you got your spinosad. Spinosad is it's the same thing that's in Entrust, and Entrust is what the big organic orchards east of the mountains use, but it's like $500 for a pound.
Wow.
And so you've got to have a huge orchard to justify buying that much stuff, and then it's a much better deal than the stuff I use, because obviously you're buying small quantities, it's already mixed, it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
But still, it's cheap.
Yeah.